I always thought betrayal had a sound. A door slamming. A whispered lie. Maybe even silence that stretched too long between words. But that morning, sitting in my car across from the high-rise on 8th Avenue, betrayal had no sound at all. Just the soft hum of my car engine and the faint click of my thumb tapping the steering wheel as I watched my wife disappear into a building I'd never seen her enter before. She looked different. Lighter. Freer. Like someone stepping into a life she didn't have to hide. Her name was Lena, and for 8 years I believed we were happy. We weren't perfect, no marriages, but I thought we were solid. We had routines that made us feel safe. Coffee together at 7:15. Kisses that tasted like toothpaste and half-slept dreams. Texts during the day, need anything from the store. Love you, see you soon. But lately something had shifted. Started small. Missed calls. Late nights. Her phone face down at dinner. And that faint cologne smell on her clothes. One that wasn't mine. When I'd ask, she'd laugh softly, touch my cheek and say, "Ethan, you're imagining things. I've just been busy. You know how work is." And I wanted to believe her. God, I tried to believe her. But love doesn't survive on words alone. It survives on consistency. And hers had vanished. It was a Thursday when I finally decided to follow her. I didn't plan it. It was one of those decisions that feels like instinct, like something deeper inside you already knew. She said she was meeting a client downtown. Her firm handled interior design projects for upscale apartments. I knew the name of the building she mentioned. It was in the opposite direction of where she actually drove. I kept a distance, my heart thudding harder with every turn she made that took her away from her story. She parked near an older brick building, one that had nothing to do with her company. The kind of place that looked too discreet to attract attention. She adjusted her hair in the mirror, checked her lipstick and then smiled. Not the smile she gave me when she came home tired. Not the smile she wore when she was being polite. This was different. This one was alive. I watched her walk up the steps, her heels clicking in rhythm with my heartbeat. She waved to the doorman, who clearly recognized her, then disappeared inside. That's when I knew. Not from evidence, not from proof, but from the way my body reacted. My hands went cold. My stomach twisted. My throat closed. Every cell in me screamed what my heart refused to say. She's with someone else. I don't know how long I sat there. Maybe 10 minutes. Maybe 30. Time had no meaning when your world tilts on its axis. But when I finally stepped out of the car, everything was slow. Deliberate. Like I was watching myself from a distance. I crossed the street, entered the lobby, and approached the desk. The doorman looked up. Older man, silver hair, kind eyes. The sort of person who's seen everything and knows when to stay silent. "Good afternoon, sir. Can I help you?" "Yes," I said. My voice was steady, almost eerily calm. "My wife just went up. Lena Carter. Can you call her down?" "I'll wait." He froze just for a moment. Then he gave a small nod and picked up the phone. His eyes flicked to mine, studying me. I could see it, the silent understanding. He knew what this was. When he spoke, his tone was neutral. "Miss Carter, there's someone here asking for you." I watched him listen, then lower his voice slightly. "Yes." He said he'll wait. He hung up, sighed quietly, and gestured toward the lobby seating. "She'll be right down, sir." Sep. My hands trembled slightly as I stared at the elevator doors. I thought of the thousands of moments that had built our marriage. The first time I saw her at that coffee shop, her laugh echoing across the street. The night she cried in my arms when her mother died. The vows she whispered through tears on our wedding day. "I'll never hurt you. You're my home." The elevator bell dinged. And there she was. She looked startled at first, then pale. The color drained from her face the moment she saw me. "Ethan," she breathed, clutching her purse like it might shield her. "What are you doing here?" I stood up slowly. "I could ask you the same thing." Her eyes darted toward the exit, then to the doorman, who was politely pretending not to listen. "Let's talk outside," she said softly. We stepped onto the sidewalk. The city buzzed around us. Cars honking, people rushing by. oblivious to the collapse happening in the small space between us. I crossed my arms. Who is he? Ethan. Don't, I said, my voice sharp enough to make her flinch. Don't lie. You don't come to the same building 3 times a week to see a client. Not one that kisses you goodbye at the door. She froze. Her lips parted, but no words came out. And that silence, God, that silence said everything. Finally, she whispered. His name is Daniel. The world tilted again. How long? She looked down, whispering so faintly I barely heard it. Almost a year. I took a step back. A year. You've been with him a year, and you come home to me every night like nothing's wrong. Tears welled in her eyes. Ethan, I didn't mean for this to happen. Don't, I interrupted. Don't give me that line. You don't accidentally betray someone. You choose it, over and over again. She wiped her face. It started when we were fighting a lot. You were distant. You were always working. I felt invisible and he listened. I just needed someone who... Stop. I almost shouted it. Don't you dare make this about me. I was working to keep us afloat. You were supposed to be my partner, not my punishment. People were starting to glance at us now. Lena looked around, embarrassed. Please, Ethan. Can we not do this here? I looked at her for a long time. The woman standing in front of me wasn't the one I married. The Lena I knew wouldn't have hidden behind excuses or secret buildings or whispered lies. I said quietly, you've already done it here. Freeware. Every day you came home to me was a performance. Her lip trembled. I still love you. I laughed once. Bitterly, brokenly. No. You love the version of me that didn't know. The one who made it easy for you to live with what you were doing. That night I packed. She followed me through the house, pleading, crying, trying to touch my arm. Ethan, please, we can fix this. Fix what? I said, folding shirts that no longer smelled like home. You tore it down quietly, one secret at a time. When I reached the doorway, I turned to her one last time. Her mascara streaked down her cheeks. She looked like a stranger. Do you remember what you told me when we bought this house? I asked softly. You said, this will be the place we build our forever. She nodded, sobbing. I stepped back. Turns out, forever had an expiration date. And I walked out. 2 months passed. I moved into a small apartment downtown. Bare walls, second-hand furniture, no trace of her. The silence was deafening at first, but it was also honest. For the first time in months, I didn't have to wonder where she was or who she was texting. Some nights, I still caught myself setting an extra plate on the table before realizing she wasn't coming home. The ghost of our routines haunted me more than she ever could. Then one evening I got a message from her. Ethan, I'm sorry. Daniel left. I made a mistake. Can we please talk? I stared at the screen for a long time before replying. Oh, you made your choice. I'm finally making mine. And I meant it. A year later, I walked past that same building again on my way to a meeting. Same doorman at the desk. Same polished floors. He recognized me instantly, gave a small nod of respect, the kind you give a man who walked through fire and came out the other side. As I stepped back into the sunlight, I realized something. That day in the lobby, I thought I was waiting for her. But in truth, I was waiting for clarity. For the moment when my heart would stop making excuses for someone who stopped fighting for me long ago. Love doesn't die in one night of betrayal. It dies slowly, through little acts of neglect, through silences that stretch too far, through smiles that no longer reach the eyes. But forgiveness, real forgiveness, isn't about taking someone back. It's about letting go of who you were when they broke you. So I walked on, leaving that building and her ghost behind me. And for the first time in a long while, I didn't feel empty. Felt free.